The night Maya Johnson accidentally sent a voice note calling the hospital's most arrogant doctor annoyingly handsome, she thought embarrassment would be the worst thing she'd face that week. She was wrong. 3 days later, she would be standing over him in an operating room, trying to save his life. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's start where every good disaster starts. A Monday morning, Maya adjusted her navy blue scrubs for the 7th time in the elevator. 23 years old, 7 days out of medical school, and already questioning every life choice that had led her to Lagos Central Medical Center's emergency department. The elevator doors opened. Chaos greeted her like a physical force. Nurses ran past. Gurneys squeaked. Monitors beeped in 12 different rhythms of panic. Somewhere down the hall, a woman was screaming a name that Maya couldn't quite make out. New blood. A nurse grabbed her arm. Bright pink scrubs, kind eyes, zero time for nonsense. Maya, right? Intern rotation. Yes. Perfect. Bay 3. GSW, male, 24, unstable. Dr. Cole is lead. Try not to faint. Before Maya could say, "I've never fainted in my life," the nurse was gone. GSW. Gunshot wound. Her first real trauma. She'd practiced on mannequins, run simulations, memorized protocols. But nothing prepares you for the smell of blood when it's leaving someone's body too fast. Bay 3 was a storm of activity. Maya pushed through the curtain. And there he was. Dr. Ethan Cole, 26. Emergency resident. Hospital golden boy. TikTok famous doctor, though he hated that description. The guy every nurse secretly liked. The guy every male doctor secretly resented. And unfortunately for Maya, the biggest jerk she'd ever met. She just didn't know it yet. "Pressure's dropping," a nurse announced. "Push fluids," Ethan ordered. His voice was calm. Too calm. The kind of calm that came from having seen too many people die. "Someone get me." He looked up. Saw Maya. Stopped. For exactly 1 second, his eyes scanned her, not in the way men usually looked at women. In the way senior doctors looked at new arrivals. Assessing. Calculating. Deciding if she would help or hurt. "New girl," he said. Maya blinked. "I'm Dr. Johnson." "New girl, stay out of the way." The words hit harder than they should have. Stay out of the way. She had graduated top of her class. Published research in her final year. Her professors had called her one of the most promising young physicians in a decade. And this guy, this arrogant, too pretty, probably has never struggled a day in his life guy, was telling her to stay out of the way? The patient's vitals worsened. Maya saw something the others missed. A subtle swelling on the left side of the chest. Tension pneumothorax. Air trapped in the pleural space, collapsing the lung, pushing the heart to one side. "He needs a needle decompression," Maya said. "Now." Everyone froze. Ethan looked at her. "Excuse me." Tension pneumothorax. Left side. His trachea is deviating. "If we don't." "I know what a tension pneumothorax is." Ethan cut her off. "And it's not that. Check his JVP. It'll be elevated." Ethan's jaw tightened. But he checked. And his expression changed. For half a second, something flickered across his face. Surprise? Annoyance? Respect? She couldn't tell. "Needle decompression," he ordered. "Now." The procedure took 30 seconds. The patient's vitals stabilized. Ethan didn't look at Maya again for the rest of the procedure. But as the patient was wheeled toward surgery, Maya caught him watching her from across the room. Not staring. Just watching. She looked away first. The rest of that first shift was a disaster. Every suggestion Maya made, Ethan dismissed. Every idea she offered, he ignored. Not rudely. That would have been easier. He was polite about it, which somehow made it worse. Interesting thought, but we'll stick with the protocol. That's creative, but let's not overcomplicate things. I appreciate the enthusiasm, Dr. Johnson. Truly. But some of us have been doing this long enough to know what works. By midnight, Maya hated him. Absolutely hated him. Or at least, that's what she told herself. Her best friend Toby had warned her about this. They'd been inseparable since their first year of med school. Toby was the calm to Maya's storm. The one who remembered to eat lunch. The one who made Maya laugh during Cadaver Lab. The one who had, 2 weeks ago, sat Maya down with a very serious face and said, "Hospital romance is dangerous." Maya had laughed. "I'm going to Lagos Central to save lives, not find a boyfriend. Besides, have you seen the male doctors in this country? Not exactly husband material." Toby had raised one eyebrow. Famous last words. Now, Maya collapsed onto her bed in her tiny one-bedroom apartment. Midnight 30. She hadn't eaten since breakfast. Her feet were screaming. Her brain was static. She opened WhatsApp, scrolled to Toby's name, pressed the voice note button, and began to vent. "Toby, I swear to God, that doctor, Dr. Cole, is the most annoying human being alive." She paused. "I mean, who does he think he is? New girl, stay out of the way." Like, "Excuse me, sir? I have a degree. I have 2 degrees. I published research on trauma triage that he probably read in med school." Another pause. The memory of his face flashed in her mind. The sharp jaw. The tired eyes. The way his voice went soft when he talked to frightened patients. Although, long pause. "He's ridiculously handsome. Like, it's almost offensive. Why does he have to be that good-looking and that insufferable? Pick a struggle, you know." She laughed at herself. "I hate him. Send." 5 seconds later. Her blood froze. Wrong chat. Wrong chat. The voice note had gone directly to Dr. Ethan Cole. Her fingers slammed the delete button. Too late. The message had been delivered. A single gray checkmark. Then 2. Read. Maya stared at her phone like it had personally betrayed her. He read it. He heard it. He knows. She considered several options. 1. Move to another country. 2. Fake her own death. 3. Throw her phone into the ocean and never return to Lagos Central. She chose option 4. Lie in the dark and pray for death. Her phone vibrated. A message. From Ethan. Just one sentence. "For the record, I don't hate you." And attached? A laughing emoji. Maya did not sleep that night. The next morning, she arrived at work 30 minutes early, praying that the universe would swallow her whole. She avoided the break room, avoided the nurse's station, avoided eye contact with anyone who might have heard. She made it all the way to the on-call room before Dr. Johnson. Ethan's voice. Behind her. She turned slowly. He was leaning against the doorway, coffee in hand. Tired circles under his eyes. A small, infuriating smile on his face. "About that voice note," he said. "I can explain." "Don't." She stopped. Ethan pushed off the doorframe. Walked closer. Not in a threatening way. In a curious way. Like she was a case study he couldn't quite diagnose. "You think I'm annoying," he said. You think I'm handsome. That's not. And you hate me." Maya's face was on fire. "Dr. Cole." "Ethan." "What?" "Call me Ethan. Dr. Cole makes me feel like I'm in trouble with my father." He held out his hand. She stared at it. "I'm not going to make this weird," he said. "You're a good doctor. I saw that yesterday with the tension pneumothorax. I should have listened to you." "You should have." He laughed. A real laugh. Not the polite hospital laugh she'd heard him use with administrators. "I know. I'm working on it." He shook his own head. "Look, let's start over. I'm Ethan. I've been here too long. I drink too much coffee. And apparently, I'm annoyingly handsome." Maya wanted to die. But she also wanted to laugh. She shook his hand. "Maya, I've been here 3 days. I drink even more coffee than you. And apparently, I have no filter." "Good." "Why good?" "Because most people here are too scared to tell me the truth." He let go of her hand. Walked away. Then stopped. Turned back. "By the way, for the record, you're wrong." "About what?" "I'm not the most handsome doctor here." He smiled. Then disappeared down the hallway. Maya stood there for a full 30 seconds. Her heart was doing something strange. She told herself it was the coffee. She was lying. The weeks that followed were strange. Maya and Ethan developed a rhythm. Not friendship. Not romance. Something in between. A shared understanding that came from working 16-hour shifts together. From watching people die and somehow going home afterward. From the particular loneliness of being young and responsible for lives. He stopped dismissing her suggestions. She stopped expecting him to. They worked side by side in the trauma bay, his calm anchoring her urgency, her creativity challenging his rigidity. The nurses noticed. "You two are cute," Nurse Amara said one afternoon, not looking up from her charts. Maya choked on her water. "We're colleagues." "We're doctors." "Of course you are." "Amara." "Honey, I've been a nurse for 15 years. I can smell sexual tension from 3 floors away." Maya walked away before her face could get any redder. The thing about hospitals is they're terrible places for secrets. Everyone sees everything. The way Ethan started volunteering for Maya's shifts. The way Maya always saved him a seat. The way they disappeared to the rooftop together after bad cases. Everyone knew. Except them. Or maybe they knew, but were scared. Because falling in love is easy. Trusting someone with your heart? That's terrifying. The first time Maya understood Ethan, really understood him, was a Tuesday. Or maybe a Wednesday. The days blurred together after a while. A child had died. 4 years old. Asthma attack. The mother had waited too long to bring her in. By the time they arrived, the little girl's lips were already blue. Maya had done everything right. Everything. Still lost her. Afterward, she found herself on the hospital rooftop without remembering how she got there. The city lights glowed beneath her. Lagos was loud even at midnight. Honking horns. Distant music. Someone laughing somewhere. It felt obscene. How could the world keep going when a 4-year-old had just stopped? "Thought I'd find you here." Ethan's voice. She didn't turn around. "How did you know?" "Because this is where I come to." He stood beside her. Close enough that she could feel his body heat. Not touching. They stood in silence for a long time. Then Maya whispered, "I keep thinking about her mother's face. When we told her." "I know. How do you do this? How do you watch people die every day and still come back the next morning?" Ethan was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "I don't." She looked at him. His face was open in a way she'd never seen. Vulnerable. Young. He looked like a boy, not the confident doctor who commanded trauma bays. "My mother died in a hospital," he said. The words hung in the air. "I was 19. First year of pre-med. She had a heart attack. Simple. Treatable. But there was a mistake. Someone gave her the wrong medication. And by the time they caught it." He stopped. Maya waited. "I couldn't save her," he finished. "I wasn't even a real doctor yet. I just sat there holding her hand while she..." His voice cracked. Maya reached out. Took his hand. He didn't pull away. "I became a doctor so no one else would have to watch their mother die," he said quietly. "But some days I still feel like that 19-year-old kid. Powerless. Useless. Screaming at God." Maya squeezed his hand. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "Don't be. It was years ago. That doesn't mean it doesn't still hurt." He looked at her. Really looked at her. Like he was seeing her for the first time. "You're different," he said. "Different how?" "Everyone here sees the golden boy. The TikTok doctor. The guy who has it all together. But you." He shook his head. "You saw me." Maya's heart was pounding. She could feel it in her throat. "Maybe because I know what it's like," she said. "To pretend you're fine when you're not." "What do you pretend about?" She almost told him. Almost. But the moment passed. "I should get back," she said, letting go of his hand. "Maya." "Good night, Ethan." She walked away. But she could feel his eyes on her back the whole way. That was the night she stopped hating him. And started falling. The falling happened slowly, then all at once. It was in the small things. The way Ethan left coffee on her desk exactly the way she liked it, oat milk, 1 sugar, extra shot. The way he defended her during rounds when senior attendings questioned her judgment. The way he looked at her across crowded rooms like she was the only person there. It was in the big things too. The night they lost 3 patients in 4 hours. Maya had broken down in the supply closet, just for 5 minutes, just to cry, and Ethan had found her. He hadn't said anything. Just sat beside her on the floor and let her lean into his shoulder. The night a patient grabbed Maya's wrist. Hard. left bruises. Ethan had handled it. Handled it so calmly and professionally that no one even reported it. But afterward, in the parking lot, he'd asked to see her arm, looked at the bruises, and said, very quietly, "If anyone ever touches you again, tell me. I don't care who they are." She'd laughed it off. But she hadn't forgotten. By week 6, Maya had accepted the truth. She was in love with him. She hadn't told anyone. Not even Toby. Because admitting it out loud would make it real. And real meant she could get hurt. And Maya Johnson had been hurt enough for one lifetime. What was she pretending about? She'd asked herself that question 100 times since that night on the rooftop. The answer was simple. Her father. He'd been a doctor too. A good one. The kind who worked 18-hour shifts and never complained. Who missed birthdays and anniversaries and school plays because someone else needed him more. Maya had understood. She'd been proud of him. Until the day he didn't come home. Heart attack. In the hospital parking lot. Alone. She was 15. She remembered everything about that day. What she was wearing. What she'd eaten for breakfast. The way her mother's voice sounded when she said the words, "Your father is gone." She became a doctor to save people. But also, if she was being honest, to prove something. To prove that doctors didn't have to break. That you could care deeply and still come home. That her father's death wasn't inevitable. But watching Ethan work himself to exhaustion. Watching him skip meals and forget to sleep and push his body past every reasonable limit. She saw her father in him. And it terrified her. Then everything exploded. It happened on a Thursday. A patient died. Mr. Adebayo. 62. Diabetes complications. He'd been in the hospital for 3 days. Stable. Improving. Everyone expected him to go home by the weekend. Then his vitals crashed. Code blue. Maya ran the code. She did everything by the book. Compressions. Epinephrine. Shocks. The team worked him for 45 minutes. But Mr. Adebayo died anyway. Maya had seen patients die before. But something felt wrong about this one. She just couldn't figure out what. The next morning, she found out. Hospital management called an emergency meeting. An error had been made. Mr. Adebayo had received twice the prescribed dose of insulin for 3 consecutive days. His blood sugar had dropped dangerously low. That was what killed him, not his diabetes. Not his age. A medication error. And somehow the evidence showed Maya was responsible. The medication logs showed her signature. The timing showed she was on shift. Everything pointed to her. Maya stood in the conference room, surrounded by hospital administrators, and tried to explain. "I didn't sign those logs. I wasn't even in the unit those days. The signatures match, Dr. Johnson. They're forged. Are you accusing someone of falsifying hospital records? I'm telling you I didn't do it." She looked around the room, looking for someone to believe her. Looking for Ethan. He was standing in the corner, arms crossed, face unreadable. "Say something," she begged silently. "Please say something." But Ethan didn't speak. The meeting ended. Maya was suspended pending investigation. She walked out of the conference room in a daze. Her career. Everything she'd worked for. Gone. She found Ethan in the hallway. "Say something," she said. "Maya, do you believe me?" He hesitated. That hesitation broke something inside her. "I don't know what to believe," he said finally. "The evidence." "Screw the evidence. You know me. Do you believe I would hurt a patient?" Silence. He couldn't look at her. And in that silence, Maya got her answer. She laughed. Not because anything was funny. Because if she didn't laugh, she would scream. "Wow," she said. "Okay. Good to know where we stand." "Maya, wait." "No. You wait." Her voice was shaking. "I trusted you. I told you things I've never told anyone. And the first time something goes wrong, you look at me like I'm the criminal. It's not that simple. It's exactly that simple. Either you trust me or you don't. And you clearly don't." She walked away. She expected him to come after her. He didn't. Maya packed her things. Cleaned out her locker. Walked out of Lagos Central Medical Center with a cardboard box and a shattered heart. Her phone buzzed. Ethan's name. She didn't answer. It buzzed again. And again. She turned it off. The days that followed were the darkest of her life. She barely ate, barely slept, barely left her apartment. Toby came over, sat with her, held her while she cried. "It's not fair," Toby said. "You didn't do anything wrong." "I know. Then why won't you fight?" Maya didn't have an answer. Because what was the point? The hospital had made up its mind. Ethan had made up his mind. No one was coming to save her. She'd spent her whole life saving other people. And now she understood the truth. When you're the one who's drowning, no one notices. But Ethan noticed. He just didn't know what to do about it. The first few days, he convinced himself she must be guilty. The evidence was right there. Her signature. Her shift. But something felt wrong. He'd seen Maya with patience. The way she double-checked everything. The way she stayed late just to make sure one more person was okay. She wasn't careless. She wasn't reckless. She wasn't capable of what they were accusing her of. So Ethan started digging. He checked the security footage. The medication logs didn't match the times Maya was actually in the unit. He checked the signature. It was close. Really close. But not identical. Someone had practiced. He checked who was on shift during the critical hours. And found something. Another doctor. Dr. Peter Okonkwo. Senior resident. Respected. Liked. And desperate. Peter was behind on his research. Behind on his publications. Falling behind on his career track. He needed a scapegoat for the medication error, someone to take the fall so his record stayed clean. He'd chosen Maya. Because she was new. Because she was young. Because he thought no one would believe her over him. He was almost right. Ethan gathered the evidence. Took it to the hospital administration. Presented it clearly. Calmly. Professionally. It took them 3 days to review. 3 days during which Maya sat in her apartment, convinced her life was over. Then the call came. "Dr. Johnson, your suspension has been lifted. You've been cleared. We're sorry for the error." Maya hung up. She didn't feel relieved. She felt empty. She returned to work the next Monday. Everyone welcomed her back. Apologized. Said they'd known all along she was innocent. She smiled. Nodded. Said all the right things. But she was different now. Harder. She avoided Ethan. It wasn't hard. The hospital was big enough. She requested different shifts. Different assignments. She never ate in the break room when he was there. If he tried to talk to her, she walked away. He left notes in her locker. "I'm sorry. I was wrong. Please talk to me." She threw them away unread. The confrontation came 3 weeks later. Maya was leaving the hospital. Late. Almost midnight. Ethan was waiting by her car. "Go home, Ethan. Not until you talk to me." "There's nothing to say." "There's everything to say." He stepped closer. "I was wrong. I should have believed you. I should have stood up for you in that meeting. I should have. You should have trusted me." "I know. You should have trusted me." "I know, Maya. I know." She looked at him. Really looked at him. He looked terrible. Dark circles. Unshaven. Thinner than she remembered. "I spent every day for 3 weeks investigating," he said. "I didn't sleep. I barely ate. All I could think about was what? Proving you were right. Proving you were right." He ran a hand through his hair. "You didn't deserve what happened. And I didn't deserve you." The words hung in the air. Maya's heart cracked. "That's the problem," she said quietly. "You didn't trust me. When it mattered most, you chose evidence over me. And I can't. I can't be with someone who looks at me like I'm guilty until proven innocent. So that's it? That's it." She got in her car. Drove away. In the rearview mirror, she watched Ethan get smaller and smaller until he disappeared. She told herself she'd made the right decision. She almost believed it. 3 more weeks passed. Maya threw herself into work. 12-hour shifts. 16-hour shifts. Overtime. Double shifts. If she was working, she wasn't thinking. If she wasn't thinking, she wasn't hurting. It worked. Mostly. Then the call came. Major highway accident. Multiple casualties. All hands on deck. Maya ran. The emergency room was chaos when she arrived. Dozens of patients. Burns. Fractures. Internal bleeding. A fuel tanker had overturned on the expressway. Exploded. Cars piled up behind it. The death toll was already climbing. She worked for 4 hours straight. Didn't stop. Didn't drink water. Didn't breathe. Then she heard the words that stopped her heart. Dr. Cole was at the scene. He's not responding. Everything went quiet. Maya's vision tunneled. Where is he? Incoming. 2 minutes. She ran. Ambulance doors burst open. Gurney. Blood. So much blood. And Ethan. Unconscious. Face pale. Breathing shallow. His scrubs were shredded. His left leg was twisted at an angle that made her stomach turn. But he was alive. He was alive. The next 6 hours were a blur. Maya didn't leave his side. She couldn't. She wasn't his primary doctor, conflict of interest, but she stood in the corner of the operating room and watched. Watched them open his leg, repair the damage, stabilize his spine. Watched his heart rate spike and drop and spike again. Watched the anesthesiologist's face go tight when something went wrong. And through it all, Maya prayed. She wasn't religious. Hadn't been since her father died. But she prayed. Please. 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 Not him too. I can't lose him too. Then came the moment. His heart stopped. Flatline. The room erupted. CPR now. Epinephrine, 1 milligram. Again. 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 Nothing. The surgeon looked at the clock. We've been coding him for 8 minutes. If we don't. No. Maya's voice. Everyone turned. Don't stop, she said. Don't you dare stop. Maya, you can't be in here. I'm not leaving. And you're not stopping. Again. The team kept working. Compressions. Shocks. Medication. Nothing. Beep. Nothing. Beep. Nothing. Maya grabbed his hand. Come back, Ethan. Please. Come back. Nothing. Come back. And then. Beep. Weak. Irregular. But there. His heart was beating. 3 days later, Ethan opened his eyes. The first thing he saw was Maya, sleeping in the chair beside his bed, head tilted at an uncomfortable angle, hand still holding his. He smiled weakly. You stayed. Maya woke up. Tried to look angry. Failed. You're an idiot. I know. You almost died. I know. Because you were being a hero. I know. He squeezed her hand. But you're idiot? Silence. Then Maya started crying. Not quiet tears. The kind of crying that comes from somewhere deep. Somewhere that's been holding too much for too long. I thought I lost you, she whispered. I'm here. You can't do that again. You can't. I'm not going anywhere. She kissed him. Right there. In the hospital room. With monitors beeping and nurses pretending not to watch. And finally admitted the truth out loud. I love you. Ethan's eyes softened. I love you too, he said. I should have said it before. I should have said it 100 times before. Why didn't you? Because I was scared. Of what? Of losing you. He touched her face. Turns out, I almost lost you anyway. By being too scared to hold on. Maya laughed through her tears. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Probably. And I'm still mad at you. I know. For not believing me. For not trusting me. I know, Maya. And I'll spend as long as it takes making it up to you. If you let me. She looked at him. Bruised. Broken. Beautiful. Yes, she said. Yes, what? Yes, I'll let you. Recovery was slow. Ethan spent 2 weeks in the hospital. Then another month on crutches. He hated every second of it. But Maya was there. Every day. Bringing him food. Reading him terrible romance novels. Making him laugh when he wanted to cry. You know, he said one afternoon, when I imagined you taking care of me, this wasn't exactly what I pictured. Maya raised an eyebrow. What did you picture? I don't know. Something more romantic. You almost died, Ethan. There's nothing romantic about that. Almost dying is very romantic. It's like every movie ever. It's like every bad movie ever. He grinned. You love me. I question that decision daily. But she was smiling. And so was he. The security footage leaked. Someone, no one ever figured out who, released the video of Maya refusing to give up during Ethan's cardiac arrest. The internet exploded. Millions of views. Millions of shares. Millions of comments. This is real love. Who's cutting onions? I wasn't prepared for this. I need a movie version now. The way she said, come back. I'm destroyed. Maya found out from Toby, who sent her a screenshot with the caption, "You're famous, babe," followed by 18 crying laughing emojis. She showed Ethan. He watched the video. Watched himself almost die. Watched Maya refuse to let go. Then he looked at her. That was you. That was me. You didn't give up. Never. He pulled her close. I love you, he said. I know, she said. Took you long enough. 1 year later. Same hospital. Same rooftop. Different people. The city lights glowed beneath them. Lagos was still loud. Still chaotic. Still full of life and death and everything in between. Ethan leaned against the railing. His legs still ached sometimes. A reminder. Maya stood beside him. No longer the new girl. No longer running from feelings. Remember when you hated me? Ethan asked. Maya laughed. I still do sometimes. Good. Why good? Because if we survived everything we survived. He took her hand. We can survive anything. Below them, the emergency room lights flickered. Someone was having the worst day of their life down there. But up here, on this rooftop, 2 people who had almost lost everything had finally found something worth holding on to. Hey, Maya said. Yeah, thank you. For what? For being wrong. He laughed. You're going to hold that against me forever, aren't you? Forever and ever. He kissed her forehead. I can live with that. Some people enter a hospital to be healed. Maya and Ethan entered one. And found love instead. Not the easy kind. Not the kind you see in movies. The kind that survives mistakes and betrayal and near death and silence. The kind that says, I see you. All of you. The broken parts and the beautiful parts. And I'm staying. The end.